Hello, my dear Glorians of Standard 10th, and welcome to our English class. Today, in session 1, we are going to talk about language study. So let's get started. Language study comprises of 3 levels of activities, namely simple activities, medium level activities, and challenging activities. Let's have a look at some of the different types of questions included under simple activities. Question number 1. Write 2 compound words of your own. Now, what are compound words? When 2 words are used together to yield a new meaning, a compound word is formed. These can be written in 3 ways as open compounds, spelled as 2 words, for example, ice cream, closed compounds, joined to form a single word, for example, doorknob, and hyphenated compounds, 2 words joined by a hyphen, for example, long hyphen term, long term. If you have a look at the answer, the examples that I have given of 2 compound words are closed compound words. They are basically toothpick and mastermind. You can think of your own examples and be prepared for this question. Question number 2. Pick out an infinitive or gerund or participle and use it in a sentence of your own. What are infinitives? An infinitive is the verb form that has to at the beginning. For example, to respect, to visit, etc. What are gerunds? Gerund is the present participle form of a verb that acts as a noun. And what are participles? A participle is a form of a verb that acts as an adjective or combines with the verb to be to form verb tenses. Participles can either be present participles, for example, sleeping, flying, or past participles, for example, broken, eaten, burnt, etc. Let's have a look at the example. Pick out the participle and use it in a sentence of your own. She was passing through Paris. Answer: passing, present participle. Sentence: the car was passing by the lane where a lot of shops were under repair. Question number 3. Punctuate the following. Now, what is punctuation? Punctuation is the system of using special marks while writing to separate sentences, phrases, clauses, etc. in order to clarify the meaning of a sentence. They not only highlight pauses in writing but also show whether a sentence is a question, an exclamation, or a statement. Use of quotation marks, commas, apostrophe, capital letters where needed, full stop, question mark, exclamation mark, etc. form a part of punctuations. Let's have a look at the example. I have nothing to forgive you for, said the king. Answer: double open inverted commas, I capital, apostrophe, I've nothing to forgive you for, comma, close double inverted comma, said the king, full stop. Question number 4. Find out hidden words from the given word. For example, find out 2 hidden words of minimum 4 letters each from splendor. Answer: LEND, lend, RULE, rule. You can find out for more hidden words. However, remember to take note that the words must bear a minimum of 4 letters each and should be a sensible English word. Question number 5. Make a meaningful sentence of your own using the following phrase. For example, make a meaningful sentence of your own using the following phrase: in pursuit of. Answer: in pursuit of a healthier diet, more people now turn to consuming organic foods. So depending on the type of phrase presented to you, you will incorporate it and make a meaningful sentence of your own. Now most of these phrases will be textual phrases. Question number 6. Spot the error and rewrite the correct sentence. For example, the hermit listened to the king but said nothing. Answer: the hermit listened. So there is a problem in the verb form used in the sentence. So you will rectify that and rewrite the correct sentence. The hermit listened to the king but said nothing. Question number 7. Identify the type of sentence. Now, based on their function, sentences are broadly classified into 4 kinds: assertive, interrogative, imperative, and exclamatory. Assertive sentences make a statement or an assertion. They can be negative or affirmative. For example, she has written the poem. Affirmative are basically positive sentences They are used to express or state something. For example, I love to have fruits along with my breakfast. Negative sentences are used to express the falseness of a statement. For example, he might not perform his duty properly today due to ill health. Interrogative sentences are used to ask a question. For example, do you want some tea? Question mark. Imperative sentences are used to give commands, warnings, requests, suggestions, or advices. For example, please be seated. Exclamatory sentences are used to express strong emotions. For example, what an awful dish! Exclamation mark. Now let's have a look at the example. I did not understand it at all. Answer: assertive sentence. In bracket, you can specify that it is a negative sentence as it is used to express the falseness of a statement. We can see the use of the word not in the sentence. Question number 8. Complete the word chain of nouns, verbs, adjectives or adverbs as given. Now, firstly, let's have a quick look at what are nouns, verbs, adjectives and adverbs. A noun is basically a naming word. A verb is basically an action word. An adjective is basically a describing word that describes a noun or a pronoun. An adverb is basically a word that modifies a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. Let's have a look at the example. Complete the word chain of adjectives. The first word is given to you, pleasant, and then there are 4 blanks. Answer: pleasant. Now, my next adjective will compulsorily begin with the last letter of the previous word. So you can see it is T. So my adjective will be timid. Once again, as a part of the word chain, my next adjective will use the last letter of the previous word, D. So my adjective will be dangerous. Once again, the last letter is S. So my next adjective will be sensible. The last letter is E. So my final adjective in the word chain will be egoistic. So ideally, in a word chain, it's important to keep an eye on the last letter of the previous word before you complete or proceed with the word chain of either of the nouns or verbs or adjectives or adverbs as stated in the question. Question number 9. Form present participles or past participles in which the last letter is doubled. For example, form 2 present participles where the last letter is doubled. So if I think of the word plan, P-L-A-N, I double the last letter N, then I can form a present participle, that is planning. If I think of the word grin and I double the last letter N, the present participle that I can obtain is grinning. Question number 10. Arrange the following words in alphabetical order. Example 1. Credit, create, cried, creature. The correct order of the words once I place them alphabetically are create, creature, credit, cried. Example 2. Payment, book, script, loan. Once again, after I rearrange the words in alphabetical order, the correct order will be book, loan, payment, script. Now, what's the difference between both the examples? In the first case, all the words begin with the same letter, that is letter C. Whereas, in the second example, all the words begin with different letters of the alphabet. So the second example is easier to solve in comparison to the first example. But since we are studying higher level English, it's my request to you to be prepared for both the types of questions, especially different examples pertaining to example 1. Now, let's have a look at some of the different types of questions included under medium level activities. Question number 1. Make 2 sentences of your own to show difference of homographs or homophones. Now, homographs are words with the same spelling but having more than one meaning. They may be pronounced the same or differently. For example, B-E-A-R, bear as in the animal, and bear as in to endure. L-E-A-D, lead as in the metal, or lead as in start off in front. Homophones are words with the same pronunciation. They differ in meaning. They may differ in spelling as well. For example, rose, R-O-S-E, as in the flower, or rose as in the past tense of rise. Rain, R-A-I-N, and reign, R-E-I-G-N. Let's have a look at the example. Write the homophone of the given word and use both the words in 2 different sentences. A-T-E, eight. The homophone in the answer is eight, E-I-G-H-T. Sentence is formed. Priya ate, A-T-E, her dinner and went to bed early. Shanti had 8, direct and indirect narration. The words of a speaker may be reported in two ways. Direct speech. Here, whatever the speaker has said is reported in the same way that he or she has said it. For example, she said, comma, double open inverted commas, it's cold, close inverted commas, full stop. Indirect speech. Here, whatever the speaker has said is reported by a third person who is not a part of the conversation. For example, she said that it was cold. So let's have a look at the example. Rewrite using indirect speech. I made some money yesterday, he explained. Answer. He explained that he had made some money the day before. Question number 3. Conversion of tenses. Tense is a term that denotes the time of an action, an event, or that of a verb. There are mainly 3 types of tenses: past tense, present tense, and future tense. These tenses can further be categorized into the following. Past tense. It is used to describe an action that has been completed or has happened earlier. It is further divided into 4 types: simple past tense, past continuous tense, past perfect tense, and past perfect continuous tense. Present tense. Present tense is used to describe an action that is happening now. It is further divided into 4 types: simple present tense, present continuous tense, present perfect tense, and present perfect continuous tense. Future tense. It is used to describe an action that will take place later. It is further divided into 4 types: simple future tense, future continuous tense, future perfect tense, future perfect continuous tense. Let's have a look at the example. Convert the sentence into simple future tense. I had Googled the subject beforehand. Answer. I will Google the subject beforehand. Question number 4. Change the voice by giving object or subject. Now, when we talk about voices, we know of 2 types: active voice and passive voice. In active voice, the thing or person performing the action is the subject of the sentence, and the thing or person affected by the action is the object. For example, The professor teaches the students. The professor is performing the action and is the subject of the sentence. The students are affected by the action and therefore are the object of the sentence in the active voice. In passive voice, the thing or person affected by the action is placed before the subject in the sentence, and the thing or person performing the action is optionally included near the end of the sentence. For example, the students are taught by the professor. So here the students, which form the subject, are being affected by the action, and the professor, which is right now the object of the sentence, is performing the action. Let's have a look at the example. Change the voice. This approach has never let me down. Answer: I have never been let down by this approach. Question number 5. Make a word register of 4 words related to the given word. So you could be given any random word and you have to prepare a word register depending on how many they have asked related to that specific word given. For example, make a word register of 4 words related to animal. Answer: wild, ferocious, carnivore, zoo. So you can think of more such words and prepare word registers for the same as practice. And finally, let's have a look at some of the different types of questions included under challenging activities. Question number 1. Use the given word as a noun as well as a verb in different sentences. For example, use the given word as a noun and as a verb, and the word is answer. Answer: Rimi did not give Ria an answer to her query. Over here, the usage of the word answer is in the form of a noun. Would you kindly answer my question? Over here, the usage of the word answer is in the form of a verb. So the word is the same. You have to only vary its usage depending on whether it is a noun or a verb and make a meaningful sentence out of it. Question number 2. Change the degree of comparison. Now, what is degree of comparison? Most adjectives have 3 forms of comparison: positive, comparative, and superlative. They are called as degrees of comparison. The positive degree is used to state the existence of a quality. For example, smart. The comparative degree is used to compare between 2 items, groups, or persons. For example, smarter. The superlative degree is used to state the highest degree between three or more items, groups, or persons. For example, smartest. Now let's have a look at the example given. Change the degree of comparison to positive and comparative. This was the closest I've been to facing death. Over here, the word closest is in the superlative form. So, answer: I've never been as close to facing death as this. Close is the positive form. I've never been closer to facing death than this. Closer is the comparative form. Question number 3. Pick out the modal auxiliary and state its function. A modal auxiliary is a helping verb that is used with the main verb in a sentence to indicate mood or tense and expresses meanings such as necessity, uncertainty, ability, obligation, permission, etc. Some of the common modal auxiliaries used are can, could, shall, should, will, would, may, might, must, ought to, etc. Let's have a look at the example. I could catch the 10:30 p.m. express train to Lucknow. Answer: modal auxiliary is could. Function is past ability. Question number 4. Analysis, synthesis, transformation of sentences. So here we are talking about simple, compound and complex sentences. Sentences are generally of 3 kinds based on their structure: simple, compound and complex. A simple sentence is the one which has a subject, predicate and a finite verb. It is a single independent clause. For example, the sun shines brightly. Compound sentences. A compound sentence is the one which is made up of 2 or more simple sentences and is usually connected with one of these coordinating conjunctions: and, for, nor, but, or, yet, so, etc. For example, Jim waited for the train, but it was late. Complex sentences. A complex sentence is the one which is made up of at least one main clause and one or more dependent clauses, usually connected with one of these subordinating conjunctions: after, although, because, if, since, when, while, whenever, though, unless, wherever, as, etc. For example, he returned home because he was tired. Let's have a look at the example given. Rewrite as a simple sentence. We touch it and become gold ourselves. Over here right now it is a compound sentence. We have to rewrite it as a simple sentence without making any change in the meaning of the sentence. Answer: touching it, we become gold ourselves. Question number 5. Use the two given words in a single meaningful sentence. For example, use both of the following words in a single meaningful sentence. And the words are chance and lifetime. Answer: Richa got a chance of her lifetime when she made it to the top 10 of a dance show. Here it is essential that whichever two words you are given, you are able to use both of them in a single meaningful sentence effectively in order to score your marks. Before we wind up with today's session, note additional topics in grammar besides the ones that we just touched upon will be shared with you via PDF in your assignment section of the My D School app. Until we meet again, stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you.